I'm Buffy Basher.
I'm Bidi Boom Boom.
And we are...
Las Putas del Fuego!
We're here to teach you the basics of outdoor skating. In this video, we'll touch on skating over rough and uneven terrain, skating up and downhill, and common obstacles you'll encounter when rolling about in the great outdoors.
What the hell is all of this stuff on the ground all over debris?
Rule number 1 when skating outdoors. You'll want to keep a low, staggered stance, similar to that derby stance. Stay loose and bouncy in your knees. Don't skate stiff. You want to be ready for anything. You want to go with the flow as you skate. In order to get over rough terrain, you'll want to utilize what we call fast feet, which is not necessarily stomping back and forth from skate to skate, but rather constantly shifting your weight from one foot to the other. That way, if and when you trip, your weight is already shifting to the other foot to catch you. The other skate instead of on my ass.
So it's shifting that feet too. It doesn't have to be that like super fast movement. It's about shifting the weight and being comfortable going back and forth on your skates. So you can still keep your speed, you can still go fast, and you're going through, and as you hit things, you're gonna just kind of shift your other foot so you don't fall. Like that. And you're just gonna kind of skip through it. So always being aware on outdoor skates, what's around you, what you're walking on, what's in front of you is really important. You can't just pick up your eyes. You need to constantly be picking up your feet. And going around and stopping where you need to so that you can get your balance and your equilibrium. So another really important thing about street skating is you don't know where you're going to, you don't know how the surface is going to be. So the more comfortable you get with like this kind of staggered stance where you drop your butt and your feet are not like going forward like this, but they're more at an angle and you're shifting from side to side, then you're going to be able to kind of cut corners a little faster and go over small bumps that otherwise would really kind of like trip you up. And they still trip me up, but with my feet staggered, I can shift my weight so they don't get caught up. So I'll kind of show you what that looks like on this little sidewalk right here. There's little bumps everywhere. One right here. I'm going to turn, shift my weight, go up, bring my ass back, go down, go around. I'm going to stay really low the whole time with my feet kind of staggered. So as I go over all those bumps, my wheels and my weight doesn't get caught up on the small cracks, because those were really AF.
There are a few different ways to skate downhill. Here Boom and I are carving down the hill. Carving utilizes your edges to skate horizontally and diagonally down the hill. The more you dig into the outside edge of your uphill leg, like this, the deeper your carve will be. Side to side, shifting your weight to the inside foot, really digging in on your edges. Another way is to plow stop down a hill, though this is best utilized on gentler hills. Tuck your tailbone, drop anchor, and push out through your inside edges. For a refresher on plow stops, check out Lesson 5 of our video series. So this is just a little refresher from Max and Cola's Transitions and Toe Stops video. But another way to go down a steep hill is to transition to backwards and go onto your toe stops. Your weight's gonna go forward. The more forward you are, the more you're gonna slow down. So, going down this hill. Position, toe stop. Lean forward. The more forward I lean, the slower I'm gonna go. Toe stops if you really need the extra. Kind of like let it up on the gas, the brake, by lifting and putting more pressure on it.
Or once you start to get a little more brave, you're just gonna whee!
Skater glide, or you can toe stop up. Don't matter, either way. But you definitely want to have some momentum going into it, because you're otherwise not going to get very far. And I'm really pushing diagonally as we go up.
Okay guys, these are Austin's Nipples of Death. These things are awful to go over on your skates. They suck. You kind of like hesitate sometimes, but there's a few different ways you can get over them. The first way is go over them really quickly. The second way is to jump over them. The third way is to see them and bail and go around them. And the last way is go right up to them, get on your toe stops, and just walk and keep skating. Ta-da!
Some important things to note when you're rolling over the Nipples of Death, sometimes known as cheese graters or, I don't know, Nipples of Death. Make sure you have enough speed to get over the entire thing, because if you lose your speed, they will catch you and put you on your face. So if I don't roll into it with enough speed, I'm too timid. That's what happens. But come into it with enough speed. Stay staggered, stay low. Go put your weight into your heels a little bit. You'll get through them just fine.
For outdoor skating, every once in a while you have to be able to get up on a curb. It's not scary. You just need to pick up your feet and step on it. And so when you're going in it, sitting back, make sure you have your stance coming up and then stepping off. Practice it a few times when you're going, because each foot you'll have an easier foot. This is my worst foot. I'm gonna practice stepping off with that bad foot. It'll really save you when you're dealing with traffic.
Stairs. So if you are street skating, sometimes you will encounter stairs, and the easiest and safest way to go up and down stairs is on your toe step. Tripod with your front wheels, so you have lots of stability. If there's a railing, use the railing. Go at your own pace while going up and down stairs. The important thing is to stay stable on your toe stop and keep your weight forward. That way, if you fall forward onto the stairs and not backwards onto something more sinister. Going downstairs is going to be the exact same thing as going up. It is going to be safest to be facing the stairs, which means you'll be going backwards, but you'll be going slowly. When in doubt, always use a railing or wall or anything you can to help you, and go at your own pace. It's not a race.
The slower you go, the safer you are. So, another big rule to safely skating outdoors is safely skating. Make sure you have your helmet, knees, wrist guards, and elbows, otherwise this happens.
Yeah, you want to make sure that you check your gear frequently. Just like today, one of my shoelaces busted, so I had to kind of untie them and tie them up here. You want to make sure your toe stops are in tight, that your wheels are turning correctly, because you're already having to deal with all of the outdoor elements and everything that can kind of stop you. And like earlier, I fell because my toe guard got stuck in my wheel because my laces fell apart. So just make sure everything is ready to go before you leave the house, or that you're prepared to make adjustments while you're skating.
This is very rough pavement, but if you keep that staggered stance and you constantly are ready to shift your weight back and forth,